This is going right into the archives.
I was telling them that these stories really aren't true, and they've gotten built up more over the years, and they're taking on a life of their own now.
So tell it good, Cody.
No pressure, but just.
We're glad you're alive.
Mercy.
You what?
We're glad Cody's alive.
Yes, we are.
Oh, it gave me a spark of life. This is what sent me on, yeah. Further heights.
And so what year was it?
How old were you?
I don't know.
Start from the beginning.
Larry never liked me. He was always jealous of my good looks.
They were good friends. They were real good friends.
Oh, bad, yeah. No, but that wasn't as spooky as though the stuff that was in the closet.
Yeah, we heard a little rumor about this haunted house.
In the closet, Cody?
Well, I don't know, but these guys, and I think it was Lyle too, you know, rattle around and there was stuff jumping out, you know.
Whose closet?
In Grandma's house.
We had an extra
Like an
house
attic?
on the, you know, like an abandoned house on grandmother's property. And Lyle and Dick, and I was too little to be involved in that, but they had these trap doors that you'd open the door and it would creak, and then there was like this string that went up and would pull a trap door, and this ghost would fall down right in front of you. This head on it and this sheet. And then another door would clang a big bell, you know, some big
And you had
anvil.
this rigged up like that?
Well, they did
Lyle
it,
and
yeah.
Dick had it. They
So
were
I
older.
had great teachers, see.
Yeah.
And then you persuaded the younger ones to come, or they did.
Oh yeah, we were the victims.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have to blame it on Lyle
Yeah.
for being such a influence
Lyle.
on his younger brother.
Poor guy.
My brother Richard he was the engineer.
Oh, I see.
You got the material?
So
Who
this
had the
windmill,
idea?
I guess he used to put a fur coat over his head and scare the boys so bad, the most Yanko boys, that when they had to go to Grandma's, they would say, "Is Larry gonna be there?"
And they didn't want him
They
to be.
didn't want to go. He was
They were
so it's the windmill we saw last night, the windmill?
Yeah.
At Grandma's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we saw it, the site.
Maybe we'll have to ask his mother what happened.
Oh, she probably doesn't
Well, you know, sometimes they remember a lot.
Trauma. The old stories.
Yeah, you went up there and checked,
She
didn't
still
you?
remembered
Hey
it.
Cody, don't
Yeah.
dig into that.
Yeah, I was blind. Yeah, and you went up and you said, "Yep, there's a little spark coming through." And so then it was my turn to go up.
And you didn't feel anything?
Did you actually
Not
touch
much,
it?
So
actually.
But you went up the tower too?
But he
what
just touched it
happened?
kind of
Cody
like
went
this,
up
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and grabbed it.
Turning
Right.
the windmill or something.
You grabbed it with your both hands?
Oh, just
Or
with
one
one hand,
hand?
yeah, grab it. So it was a tremendous ground, you know, the windmill and that.
Oh.
And you were
putting out
cranking
their
it.
hand.
And what this was is I had this radio system set up in Grandma's attic, and I had a great antenna. I could get like shortwave radio all around the world, and it went from Grandma's house top to the top of the windmill, or near the top, not right up where the thing was turning, but you know, maybe a section down or something. And then we had a resistor or insulator on there, and that was the antenna. And so, but I had one of these old-fashioned telephones, and we hooked it up to the telephone, and one went down to the ground, which was in the ground, and the other went up on the antenna. So when you'd be on the top of the windmill and you grab it, you could feel the tingle of somebody cranking this little, what's that called, that little generator, yeah.
The tingle, he
And you
says.
described it as a windmill. Yeah, what did you describe it as?
An electrical shock.
Numbing experience.
So I said to
And you
Cody,
got tired of cranking, and so you came down. I'm sure glad you did.
well, actually, I
Cranking.
heard you yell.
Oh.
I did. I heard
So
this.
Larry's
So you
there
were at the base?
cranking
You
this
were
Well, I was
crank.
way up on the
So
top.
what
You were hanging
happened?
onto the wire, yeah.
Cody
Right.
goes up the windmill and you're cranking the crank.
Right, I'm cranking the crank.
Can you feel it yet?
And yeah.
You don't feel anything up there.
Maybe I should go a little faster.
But I'm going. Anyway, then all of a sudden I hear, "Ah!" and
everybody else heard that too.
And Cody had grabbed it, and he couldn't let go of
let
it
go.
because it, you know, it kind of paralyzed his hand on this
Yeah.
strong current. He's holding on to the ground, and this is electric coming through. You know, he's like.
And then when he yells.
It's a complete
So how'd you
circuit.
get-
Well,
how'd
it
you let go?
emptied it.
After you got done cranking it, then.
It emptied the
Quit.
house out. Both my mother and his mother and my grandmother came running out of the house to find out what Cody's yelling about.
Yeah.
Who's mortally injured here?
And they couldn't quite put two and two together. It was a little bit of a mystery at first. But when the facts came out, then I got, you know, like my mother would grab me by the ear. You're dead!
Now,
Okay, Mom!
now, honestly, can you remember? Was it intentional? Were you trying
No.
to shock him?
We just
No, I
wanted
wasn't.
to-
No, I just thought, he said, yeah, I can feel it a little bit.
I wasn't cranking it hard enough.
I guess.
We should do this again.
We'll put him up there this time. We'll let you walk and he can go.
I think that's a great idea.
We have windmills.
That seems fair.